the CTs. So that Mac 10 could go pretty hard. It's 40 seconds left to find something. Regali opens it up, and another. That's going to open up the Mac 10, but it's still the pistol from Elzen. That's actually better. And the double back coming on through. I mean, that bomb is down on the ground, and Fluxo know it. Regali, does he have the cognizance to expect this? Sevi takes the kill, and Fluxo hold on another round.
Imagine if they lost a 2 versus 5
to
pretty much lose the map. That would have been pretty shocking, but not the case. Good job at the end of it. Yeah, I think you could tell Vexite thought that was it. Like, I've got him, so...
Yeah, I mean...
Happens.
Totally. I'm shocked he didn't get the kill there. The 5-7, though, doesn't run out of bullets.
I'm shocked he doesn't get all the kills at this point.
True.
Why not? Sevi's got 15, maybe worth highlighting. Pretty good job. They've really been beat up, so the fact that he's got 15 is impressive. Arts adding a couple here. So they only have pistols and not much else to play around with on the FlyQuest side. So, you know, again, very likely a 4-11 scoreline, no surprises. I can't imagine the little heartbreak if FlyQuest actually let Fluxo back into the game. But a long way away from that.
Yeah.
But, I don't know.
Oh, that's a big kill. Look how low Art is. Very weak. He doesn't want to peek this. He has to kind of just hold this position. And there's no teammates that can help him out. So if this gets hard cleared, I don't think Art stands a chance with that HP. But only 2 players here for FlyQuest, and they've got a minute to play with, so they really can go anywhere at this point.
They are banking on Fluxo getting too curious, getting too nervous at the complete standstill. Smoke is there. You can see he's really trying to bait them in. Dangerous reload. Regali's moving close, and actually Art has a grenade in hand. Nicely done. He's so close, Regali. He knows he has the timing before the rifle get back out again. And he was so low, like you mentioned. And now they've made their run through here. Sevi's nearly catching him. It's a good position. And he does get rid of Regali. Bomb. But what can Netic do with it? 1 versus 2. He's got 30 seconds. I mean, in theory, he could even go back to the A-bomb side if he really wanted to. He knows where Sevi is. He's just got no idea where Melson is, and he's in a very strong forward position. Yeah, all the way up the ramp, hiding in the corner. Good communication between the last 2 players there on Fluxo. Interesting.
I like the quick thinking there as well to like drop the pistol to make it sound like that he's picking up a gun and continuing to push forward into the site to try to bait out that player that was holding the flank. But yeah, still Fluxo. Still holding on, and FlyQuest, they are going to have to save here. So we're starting to work on a comeback, Fluxo. We are starting to work on a comeback.
I mean, if they get up to about 9 rounds, Fluxo here on the CT side, I think that's around the time when the mood will probably change a lot on FlyQuest, and the sort of reality will set in that, wait a minute, we didn't quite do it yet, but that's a long road to walk. First one is kind of a little bit easier, you're right. First couple of steps here on the journey will be different.
Yeah, they just have to make sure they don't make any, like, don't give away any easy ones. Like, for example, around like this, where there's just a bunch of Glocks and a Deagle. Okay, you like lose a player, and then they get the plant, and they're playing a post plant with like an extra gun. You know, like just try to avoid those tricky situations, and hopefully it will all go well for Fluxo. FlyQuest into mid. They want to recycle that Deagle, Anders.
Yeah. I mean, they've got 1 flashbang to go through. I like this. Hoping that they can catch anybody really off guard. They're going to go back towards Donut. Kai was pushing up, so they had the right kind of idea. But, again, not really the pistols to take that fight. Regali, there's 1. Just need 4 more of those, and we're all good.
I really like the positioning from Kai there. Really well-managed fight against multiple opponents. But Regali, an extra kill or 2 would be massive. He's found a second headshot with the Deagle there. That is really nice.
Yeah, you could tell that they wanted to get rid of that threat before Regali kind of ran wild with it. Still, pretty cool shots.
Dialed in.
Oh, yeah.
A few rounds under their belt, but now a more difficult one. The 4x comes in again for FlyQuest.
Okay, let's see what they actually bring out. Just not an immediate fight towards the middle. They did have somebody ready in T-spawn to throw some flashes over if need be. It's going to be a little bit later on, but Kai, nice spin around. Sevi sure to get this shot, taking down Inns. And now pushing forward, Lias also getting dropped. Sevi didn't actually fall away. What a nice flick onto Netic. Sevi, you can't say he isn't trying. He's got 21 kills, a triple in this round, trying to keep Fluxo alive in this game.
Yeah, that was an excellent AWPing there. And it's interesting too, because we got a 4-bar. You might expect from FlyQuest to play more of a default, but they actually end up just trying to shove into the site, which, I mean, you've got Zevi basically calling them, hey, that's not going to work. You guys got to do something else. Like, you can't just run it at me. Great form from Zevi, as you say, to keep Fluxo alive in this one, and they needed a nice, clean-ish round like that.
It'd be cool if Sevi keeps playing really well. It's one of the most frustrating things about the Brazilian scene at the moment is that they are so low on good AWPers for some reason. We basically need a new Fallen. You know, we just don't have that person just yet. A couple of interesting prospects, but I would say, you know, we're not talking, there's no Brazilian Monacy yet. You know, we need somebody like that. Int's going to be going down early. Tech9's here, although that is dangerous. How they've walked right past each other. Melson's going to be taking down Vexite, but the fact that there's two people inside of the smoke might be hard to read. So Courier's gone down. Art's going to get rocked by the Tech9 of Regali. 3 versus 3, and in the middle, Kai finding himself at a very awkward position. No escape on this one. Sevi to try and save the day once again. It's only going to be the one, and that leaves the map wide open. Still 50 seconds.
Massive round from Netic. 3 kills off that AK. And now Lias has that deep position, so holding onto the B sites. So that allows a very easy plant. Nelson coming in, AK as well. And the setup is going to be very hard to defeat. He's going to have to hit some very nice shots here. So he starts to make the first approach. Lias takes him down. Trade fragger not even necessary. And that is an unlikely round coming out of FlyQuest.
Oh, absolutely. Almost doesn't even seem like Flux was that upset. I think they could have realized that opportunity. Oh my god. I don't think you saw that first time around. But yeah, you're right. This wasn't the easiest round to win. Such great work. Netic. And then Lias at the end.
That tickled you for some reason.
It's just downplaying the success.
Yeah.
For the lols. Good trolling, guys.
Zevi, once again, with that AWP has been so stable that they've got Vexite now on the entry into the B site. It's found nothing so far. Nobody in forward positions. This is interesting. So much space given, but here comes Zevi once more with his AWP, looking for the opening, and he gets it. Regali with a quick trade into the site, but they're surrounded right now. There's police everywhere.
There is Zevi. Oh my god, he's so quick. Okay, well, they got their backs to the wall, so there's only one way forward right now for Flux. So that's just to win every round in the map and get this one into overtime at the moment. What a task ahead of them, but if Sevi's going to be playing like this, then that should inspire some confidence, and the rest of the team obviously can't just be him alone. Somebody else has to step it up. FlyQuest calling a timeout, have a bit of a discussion about what is the plan, but they just need one opening, one way to get through.
That's all it takes. It does feel like so tense for Fluxo. You know, such a journey, such a grind. Gotta really sweat as hard as the AC will allow you here in the here in Texas.
Yeah, you're gonna have to be pushing yourself for that to be the case. Oh my god. It's just been, I mean, without him, I don't even need to say it, but without him, they've already lost this game 10 minutes ago at least.
Yeah, the Vexite for Fluxo's CT side.
Like, Sevi is matching Vexite. 26 for kills on both of them, 14, 13 deaths. In the middle, smoke is blown open, but it backfires. Arts wanted to catch them, but instead Netic's able to get the shot. Now, Kai will revenge it, but I think that's still kind of worth it here for the FlyQuest side. Mid control is theirs. Inns moving forward. Put a little bit of pressure on Kai. They have so much time. They can wait. I think that's something FlyQuest have been doing fairly well, is allowing Fluxo to really feel the pressure of not knowing what's coming next.
And we've got a minute, just over a minute left now, and FlyQuest gathering towards the B side of the map at the moment. And we got the big lean from Fluxo too. They seem to have a good read of this. There's 2 players set up in the K positions, really strong. But can FlyQuest set piece overwhelm it? Good timing on the smoke.
Okay, they're all going to be going up the ramp, just leaving the cave. Oh, it's to the smoke! Backside now! How has he done that? In's going to be taking on Sevi, and they pull the rug right out from under them. That Vexite kill, I don't think he saw it. I think it was just to the smoke as Kai goes down, and this is what happens when you bring the Aussies to Austin. They've absolutely blown up Fluxo. I am so impressed.
Everything is bigger in Texas, and Vexai is going huge so far today. So that was really awesome to see. FlyQuest, I do think they're a team that some people might be sleeping on a little bit. We'll have to see, how they progress throughout the tournament, but they are definitely dangerous.
Yeah, there's no way around it. What a performance. I mean, carried obviously by Vexai, but the fact that we could just create such a long high ride. We really have one of them. Probably going to be replaying that quite a bit. What a performance. Sevi, shout out to him, obviously trying to rescue the rest of Fluxo, but he just couldn't do it on his own, unfortunately. Really, really impressive, though. Just as an individual, performance, he had to basically do that on his own. Sick game. We've got more coming up, but we have to reshuffle all the matches. It'll be interesting, so stay tuned.
27 kills on the side of Vexite.
Someone help me.
45 ADR. My lord, man doing God's work, and yeah, paying off in this first best of 1 for FlyQuest.
Yeah, that was. I feel sorry for Sevi. He was doing a good job, at least trying to keep them alive. However, FlyQuest, that was a very dominant performance.
It was very. I mean, like we praised Regale for coming into the team, and he has elevated the team better than what they used to look like with Alistar. And I think Vexite sometimes is also like this overload. You talked about Nedic wanting to come in, and we've seen what Inns can do, and Lias has also been part of the Australian scene for a long time. Vexite, on the other hand, he's a guy that's been going a little bit up and down in performance. He was seen as this guy that could come out of the Australian region and maybe prove to be another JKS. I don't think he's proven it yet, but this one proved that he can play Counter-Strike.
How does that set things up when we move into those second round of matchups, which we will be announcing very shortly?
Yeah.
We need about a minute to calculate those.
Okay.
But yeah, FlyQuest, so obviously Heroic were the firm favorites. Where do FlyQuest kind of sit in your estimation after that clear number 1?
So close to be up there. I'd say Heroic right now, being the top dog in that regard. I think FlyQuest is up in that conversation as well. OG, let's see if they can replicate what we saw against Complexity. I would still say Heroic number 1, FlyQuest 2, and OG 3 in the, I guess, very preliminary power ranking that we're doing after having watched one best of 1.
I love making so much out of such a small sample size, you know me. Would you agree with that sentiment, Priya? Those kind of the order in terms of... maybe we could take this in a different direction rather than like the power ranking. Most impressed, is there any kind of teams that really stood out to you that maybe you didn't expect such a dominant result from?
OG is maybe the one that stands out to me. Going up against Complexity, sure, without their Arbor, but still think they played really well. And then for the rest of it, most of it was like as we expected. Sure, I think that FlyQuest, Fluxo is maybe not a team that people have too much expect of, but the way that they managed to clinch it was good. And I think that's kind of the storyline throughout the games we've seen so far, is that there are teams that, sure, we have teams that we expect to win, but it's more about the fashion they do it in, which is more like the dictator of how things are going, and if they're looking sharp, if they're not looking sharp. I think overall we've seen majority of the favorites win, and nothing too surprising yet.
I think I'd put Wildcard and Energy up there as like good start. What we want to see from a North America major, some of the veteran players we're talking about, the likes of Nitro, Stanislaw as well. Good to see them coming out swinging. Obviously, they will have to continue that in the second set of best of 1s.
That's the thing, consistency is key, especially in this kind of format, especially when you play 2 games in one day. After today, tomorrow, and the day after, and the following day, all teams only play 1 game a day. So for now, day 1, consistency is where you can use that as a strength of yours. If you're consistently playing well on day 1, well, then you're putting yourself in a great spot.
Shall we find out who opponents are going to be moving on forward, as we do have way more best of 1s coming away in the second half of the day? Okay, so we start off with the likes of OG versus Bait, Heroic NRG. I'm really squinting to see this logo. I should be standing
Linvision
closer.
versus Wildcard and BetBoom FlyQuest.
Excellent. And then in the lower bracket, we've got Imperial taking on Jingless Warriors, Namiga versus Legacy, Fluxo, Tyloo, and then Complexity versus Metasport. Anything really standing out to you guys from those initial matchups? matchups?
I am very much looking forward to the OG game, to be completely honest, versus Bait. I think Bait did a great comeback against Imperial, and OG, I want to see them continue the good trend. And then Heroic versus NRG. If NRG is legit, let's see what you can do against a team like Heroic.
I'm looking forward to the whole bed boom versus flag quest. I think that's also a matchup that could be very interesting. We've praised, or I wouldn't say praised, but we talked a lot about bed boom, that they can be very hit or miss this tournament. And then you have on the other side, you have flag quest, which is a team that is constantly actively inside other tier 1 tournaments, that they can push some of the top dogs into, in uncomfortable situations. So it's actually going to be a matchup that's going to be very interesting. And I think if bed boom can clinch this one, I think they are in a very good position.
I'm just going to put it out there. I said those matchups completely wrong. I was looking at HLTV thinking that I was lining them up. So I'm actually going to look at the graphic properly. And yes, now I understand what's moving forward.
Okay. Well, we got you, Freya. We got you. I think the only one you missed was Imperial versus Nemiga. You know, that's a matchup in itself, and that could be interesting as well. To me, I look forward to see Complexity versus Fluxo. Not necessarily because I think Fluxo have a chance of making much happening here in stage 1, but the response from Complexity. What is the body language gonna look like? What is the output gonna look like on the server? That was such a disappointing way for them to start the tournament, with Juniors standing, getting owned by OG. Against Fluxo, let's be honest, that's a game that they should be winning, even with a stand-in, so I'm curious to see if Complexity can make that happen.
They have to. Surely so much pressure.
They have to bounce back. There's no excuse for them to not doing it. I mean, like, with what they come into with this in this tournament, even though with the stand-in, I think they see themselves as a clear favorite in this one as well, and, you know, people don't really have the expectations for Fluxo, so if Complexity cannot bounce back on this one, it's going to be looking even more grim tomorrow.
You know what can save you from ever doing that again, Freya? By heading into Blaster TV, because they have the Pick'em simulator, and that's the one I'm using in front of me. And so far, they are 100% correct.
Excellent. Thank you for
You're
that
welcome.
advice, Jacob. I will certainly use that to maybe get myself a pair of spectacles too, because I definitely need
I know
those.
where to get them.
Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me for the first half of the day. Of course, we have plenty more Counter-Strike going down, but we're going to leave you over with Moses, Maui, and Banks. They're going to be up here on the C-Stream side of things. And yeah, I'm very excited to see the matches go down. We're going to leave you on a 10-minute break. But yeah, we'll be seeing you in person tomorrow.